Hello, my lovely little artists. Today we are going to be starting a two-part project. For the first part, we're going to be making a snowy background. I have white paint, blue, brown, and green, but we're going to be starting with white and blue. We want to create different values with these. Our blue is going to be our dark value, and we're going to add white to create a lighter value. So start with your blue, dip into the white, and blend them in on your paper to get different shades or different values of blue. I'm going to cover up that whole paper. And now that that part is done, I can make a super cool pine branch. It's very wintry. I'm using my brown to make some twigs, and I'm going to make some short strokes on those using green to create the pine needles. And now you're done. You can set that aside. For part 2, we're going to be making a mitten, our very own mitten, and you get to decorate it however you like. So first off, we're taking a stencil and placing it on my half sheet of paper, making sure the bottom lines up just like that. Make sure you're holding the paper down with your free hand while you trace with your pencil. And there we go, we've got our very own mitten. I'm going to cut that mitten out with some scissors. Make sure your scraps get into the garbage. Next, we're going to take some crayons and we're going to decorate the mitten. Now remember, some of this is going to be covered up when we add some string later, but you can make some lines, some patterns, fill it in. Now, I'm taking this string and we're going to use this to add texture to our mitten. I laid out all of my strings before I started gluing. Liquid glue is going to work best for this. So I'm going to put a thin line of the liquid glue. It's not going to take much. And then I'm laying the thread down on the glue and pressing it lightly with my fingers. You don't have to slam it down or press it super hard. It's very gentle. You may notice that some of my threads are longer than my mitten. That's okay. We'll deal with those in a second. Okay, now that all of my yarn is glued down, let's deal with these extra tails. We don't really want those. So we're going to take our scissors out again and cut off the extra. If the thread still goes off the sides just a teeny tiny bit, it's no big deal. That's kind of part of adding texture. It's going to come off the paper a little bit. Now I have all these extra itty bitty pieces, and those need to go in the garbage, the tiny ones. The larger ones can still be used. Okay, my friends, one last step. We're going to combine our mitten with our background, but I can't put the glue on the back of the mitten because the glue is still wet on it. So using my glue stick, I made a mitten shape on the background, and now I'm pressing the mitten onto it. I'm pressing in between the threads so that I don't mess up the liquid glue, which is still wet. I still had a little side that was sticking up, so I went back in with my glue stick and pressed it down. And now I'm done. Thank you.